Hey everyone, it's James with Peakway Software and this is Devlog number 12. In this video update, we will be covering changes to the UI, character creation, and stealth. But before we get started, you should know that our official Discord server is now open to the public and the invite is in the description. First things first, the main menu has been remade in terms of UI and the level itself. The latest iteration provides better lighting during character creation and improves the user experience overall. Next on the list, we've completely restructured the character creation's user interface to make it more streamlined. We no longer use thumbnail previews and every setting is changed through a slider to provide more consistency. We've removed the characteristics tab and separated attributes and traits into their own tabs. This should make the process less convoluted as a result. Along with the new UI comes new human characters. These new models have more hair, facial variations, and face sliders compared to the older versions. We won't be able to replace the other races before Isles of Adalar launches, but that will be one of the first priorities during early access. Let's move on and take a look at a UI comparison for the inventory screens. The look as a whole is now less cluttered and removes some of the unnecessary graphics and information. If you look to the left of the items, you will see that their individual categories are now visible. Hopefully this will be a useful addition for players navigating their inventory. Just a side note, we've also removed borders and simplified the character and reputation tabs so they can be a little easier on the eyes. Next, we'll move on to the new dialogue UI. It follows the same design philosophy as the previous changes you've already seen. Our goal with these changes was to have a more modern and natural user interface. Before we move on though, there is one more miscellaneous change I want to show you. Last and probably least, the lock on target has received an update as well. But I think it's about time I show you something that has a little more gameplay implications. Our stealth systems have been getting a lot of attention lately, but they still need work before they can be used properly in game. Just keep in mind that these levels are just simple test scenes as we move forward. The first test shows that an NPC can hear you take items if you are close enough to them, regardless of the physical barriers. The NPC will then run to the closest guard to report you for your crimes. Once the crime is reported, the guard will try to find you and make you pay the bounty. The second test shows that going into stealth makes it harder for NPCs to hear you committing a crime. In this case, when the character is standing upright, taking the item will be witnessed, but while in stealth at this distance they won't be able to hear me. The third test shows that you can't trade a stolen item to its owner. Notice the stolen icon in my inventory and how that item is not available for trade. The fourth test shows that an NPC can share item ownership with you. This will allow you to take their items and open their locked doors and chests without consequences. Notice that taking the item from before is no longer considered a crime after sharing ownership. The fifth test shows off pickpocketing. This particular NPC is awake, so I need to use a spell to deafen them first. Test number 6 shows that sleeping NPCs can't hear you while asleep, and don't need a spell cast on them for pickpocketing to work. Test number 7 shows that if you are seen pickpocketing a sleeping NPC, the NPC that witnesses the crime can wake up the other who was asleep. The 8th test shows how you can use a spell to become invisible to others. This allows you to pickpocket that same NPC as before, but without letting the others see you. Just keep in mind that we haven't created the actual visual effect for invisibility yet. The 9th test shows that you can choose to blind the watchful NPC instead of becoming invisible to get the same result. The 10th and final test shows that you do bonus damage while undetected in stealth, and also that NPCs will search for you if they suspect a crime, but won't be able to find you if you are behind cover. Keep in mind that if they get too close, they will still be able to hear you. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. Remember to wishlist Isles of Adalar on Steam if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.